And now we enter that delightful state of euphoria, the world of Oscar Brand.
Ring along, oh, ring the Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Ted Pearson. You're listening to Jean Ritchie singing because she's going to be performing in New York in the next couple of weeks. In fact, so is everybody on our program. For instance, there'll be, our guests, the New Lost City Ramblers, and also the Oranim Zabar Group 2. I'm Oscar Brand, by the way, and this is my little world of folk music. And as I say tonight, we'll give you sort of a roundup of what's to be in the field of folk music. That's Christchurch Bells, sung for you by Jean Ritchie, who will be joining me at Cooper Union in a special private program for the State Department and the Armed Forces Radio Network. And she'll be performing a little later on in a program with the New Lost City Ramblers, about which we'll speak later. This month also brings us Jewish Music Month, which is going to keep everybody who sings in Yiddish very, very busy. I'd like to sing you one of these songs that I learned from my lawyer, Irving Diamond. Before I do, I'd like to sing you a matching American song. The problems of the teenager have been dealt with in folk music of all languages. For instance, here's a request that has been sent in, that I sing Lolly Tootin'. The answer, of course, is the singing of this Southern Appalachian song. As I walked out one morning just to breathe the summer air, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. As I walked out one morning to breathe the summer air, I overheard a mother, she was scolding her daughter fair, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. You better go hush the dishes and hush your chattering tongue, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. You'd better wash the dishes and hush your chattering tongue. You say you want to marry? Well, I say you're much too young, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Oh, pity my condition, just as you would your own, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Pity my condition, just as you would your own. For 17 long years I've been living all alone, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Well, suppose I let you marry, how would you get your man, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Suppose I let you marry, how would you get your man? Lord of mercy, mother, there is always this handsome Sam, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Why, there are tinkers and tailors and men behind the plow, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Tinkers and tailors and men behind the plow. Lord of mercy, mother, I'm a-getting that feeling now, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Well, now my daughter's married, she's well for to do, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Now my daughter's married, she's well for to do. Gather round, you handsome men, 'cause I'm in the market too, lolly toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Toodum, toodum, lolly toodum day. Now that was Lolly Toodum, which is an old American song. There's a song called Wie bist du gewesen, which also talks about the problems of a young lady who grows up too fast for her mother's comprehension. And don't they all? This one is called Wie bist du gewesen. As I said, I learned it from a young man named Irving Diamond. And I'll translate it as I sing it. The mother says, where have you been, my darling daughter, o Tochter meiner Getreien? Daughter says, I've been to Palestine, which is a wonderful place. Wie bist du gewesen, wie bist du gewesen, Tochter meiner Getreien? Tochter meiner Getreie, ich bin zu Palästina, a goldene Medina, Mamas ist gewesen am Achaya. Ich bin zu Palästina, a goldene Medina, Mamas ist gewesen am Achaya. And the mother naturally says, "What did you eat, darling?" Because that's what mothers always say. Was hast du gegessen? Was hast du gegessen? Tochter meine Getreie, Tochter meine Getreie. Ich hab gegessen Kasche, verbrennt hat es Masche, Mamas ist gewesen am Achaia. And that means I had kasha, which Masha burned. We never meet Masha again in the song, but we surmise that she now has a kasha burning factory in the middle of Tel Aviv. Ich hab gegessen Kasche, verbrennt hat es Masche, Mamas ist gewesen am Achaia. And then the mother says, "Well, where did you sleep, my darling?" And the daughter says, "I slept on a bale of hay, and there was some Chalutzium nearby." Chalutzium are early settlers. Wie bist du geschlafen, wie bist du geschlafen, Tochter meine Getreie, Tochter meine Getreie. Auf dem Bintel hey, mit Chalutzium 2, Mamas ist gewesen am Achaia. Auf dem Bintel hey, mit Chalutzium 2, Mamas ist gewesen am Achaia. And so you see, for Jewish Music Month, as well as for American Music Month, you could sing very, very similar songs. My singing a Jewish song, I think it's only fair to give the other side a chance. I don't sing very many songs in other languages, but Theo Bickel sings hundreds of them. And so we'll give Theo Bickel a chance to sing a song in English. Now, the reason we have Theo on the program, aside from the fact that he sings so beautifully and commands so many languages, is that he is, like many other performers, appearing in shows, concerts, and on a New York stage continually. He doesn't get to sing folk music, he gets to sing folk-type music in The Sound of Music, Rodgers and Hammerstein's last show together. I'd like you to hear his singing of Welcome to Scotland, a song composed by the great Scottish poet and minstrel, Will Dunbar. It was composed August the 8th, 1503, especially for the wedding that day of Margaret Tudor and James IV of Scotland. Theodore Bickel, Welcome to Scotland.
O fairest fair, O fairest fair, Princess most pleasant and prickler, the lustiest one alive that been, welcome to Scotland to be queen. Welcome the floor of my heart's delight, the spirit rejoiceth frae her spleen. Welcome to Scotland to be queen.
A number of years ago, I was invited over to Theo Bickel's apartment for some entertainment and jokes. Part of the entertainment, of course, this would be supplied by me and Theo Bickel. And the other part was supplied in social company by some students of music, dancers and singers who are here from Israel. Now they are the Oranim Zabar group featuring Geula Gil, who are appearing at Town Hall and are appearing right now as part of our world of music. Gentleman and lady, Geula, what kind of program do you intend to present? Will it be an all-Israeli program?
Well, this is not going to be a whole Israeli program. The most part of it, of course, will be dedicated to the Israeli music because we feel this is our field and specialty. But there will be quite a good part of it dedicated to folk songs of other lands that we learned in our travels around the world.
Now, Dov Seltzer, you're a musician, a trained musician, as is Geula, a trained singer, and Michael Kagan. In presenting your programs, you actually reorganize, rewrite, and rearrange the material, don't you?
Oh, yes. You see, the Israeli folk music is, most of it is written. It's, might sound strange to you that the folk music is written, but I mean, this is not the only country that does that. And, I am one of the composers, of the Israeli composers that do write folk songs. And of course, we do arrange it specially for our programs. We think in good taste, so it will serve the purpose of the music that we are bringing.
Gail, do you have anything to do with the picking out of the music which will be used on the programs?
Oh, yes. Usually I go and I meet the people, and then Dov comes and he writes the music, and well, he knows how to speak, I would say, 6 languages, and he immediately can pick up whatever it is. And
no, but not only that. I mean, as far as the material that we are doing, even the Israeli material, Gil has a very, very wide repertoire of songs that she knows, just I don't know where from by heart. You know, she learned them. And she always, there's some new material, some songs that we didn't think of, and she thought of it, and she picked it, or she suggested it.
Well, one of the most recent additions to your repertory was the Russian spoof, which you did at Newport and is on the Electra Newport Folk Festival.
You know, I really don't know if you've noticed, but I surely have. There is quite a lot of Russian influence in this continent lately. Culturally speaking, I mean. You probably saw one of the dance group that were here, the Beryoska dancers, the Moiseev dancers. They always have a big choir with them of maybe 200 on stage, 300 in the orchestra, and a large-sized lady in the middle as a soloist. Well, we'll bring you such a Russian song, but with slight modifications.
And that was the Oranim Zabar group who acted this evening as our guests.
Do you ken John Peel with his coat so gay? Do you ken John Peel at the break of the day? Do you ken John Peel when he's far, far away, with his hounds and his horn in the morning? For the sound of his horn brought me from my bed, and the cry of his hounds which he oft times led. Peel's new halloo would awaken the dead, or the fox from his lair in the morning. Yes, I ken John Peel and his Ruby too, Ranter and Ringwood, Bellman and True, from a find to a check, from a check to a view, from a view to a death in the morning. For the sound of his voice brought me from my bed, and the cry of his hounds which he oft times led. Peel's new halloo would awaken the dead, or the fox from his lair in the morning. Ken John Peel with his coat so gay, he lived at Troutbeck once on a day. Now he has gone so far, far away, we shall ne'er hear his voice in the morning, for the sound of his voice brought me from my bed, and the cry of his hounds, which he oft times led, peals new hallooed awaken the dead, for the fox from his lair in the
The artistry of Richard Dyer Bennett, accompanying himself on the lovely John Peel. I say lovely, really a exciting hunting song, and yet he's made a beautiful art song out of it. By the way, that's by Isaac Bickerstaff and dates back to about the 18th century. As I mentioned, I'll be at Cooper Union for the State Department, the Armed Forces Radio Network, which, by the way, records all these programs for rebroadcast all over the world. And I'll probably sing a number of songs, comparisons, the old songs and the new songs, as I often do, just for the fun of it. And one came up just the other day. I sang a song about a pretty girl milking the cow, an old Irish song, as a request from a listener. I'll sing you a piece of it now. You'll know what I'm talking about.
It was on a bright morning in summer when I first heard his voice speaking low, as he said to the colleen beside him, "Who's that pretty girl milking the cow?" 'Twas many times after I met him, he swore that I always would be his darling Acushla, Mavurnin Asulish Mahri.
Well, that's the way the song used to go. And then someone wrote in after having heard me sing on the Daily Show, "Have you ever heard the pretty girl milking her goat, the Pennsylvania miner's song?" And I said, yes, I had, but I'd forgotten it. And so it was sent in. So let me sing for you the parody on the old, lovely Irish song that comes from Centralia, Columbia County. Pretty girl milking her goats.
It was on a cold winter's morning, as I went out to work for my grub, I heard a mermaid sing most alarming, as she sat on the heel of her tub. Her mouth was both large and commodious, why a small boy might skate down her throat, and her bullfrog bass voice was melodious, while she sat there a-milking the goat. While I stood and I gazed at this creature, I was smashed into halves by surprise. Think I, she's some goddess of nature, or the Queen of Georgetown in disguise. I says to her easy and civil, "Do you warble that poem by rote?" I was told to inquire of the devil by the pretty girl milking her goat. She said, "Don't stand there giving me taffy. Don't you think I'm a foolish galoot? I know I could never be happy with you and your number 9 boot. Why, you're not but a lousy railroader, I can tell by the mud on your coat. and to none but a fine-looking railroader will my father give me and my gold. Now there's a song with real, beautiful, lively spirit, and it was made up right here in America. We'll be back again with more of the songs America loves. I'm Oscar Brand, and this is part of the little world of folk music.
Have you ever heard of the people of two towns who would have absolutely nothing to do with each other? Let's paint a picture of two such towns. First, they border each other, but the streetcar and bus lines come to a stop when they reach that border. The telephone lines are strictly within the limits of each town. Grocery, milk, and newspaper routes all reach a dead end at the dividing line. In fact, the newspapers of each town print nothing concerning the other. Now, you happen to move into one of these towns, and you learn that the situation has been going on for a long time, so long that the people of the two towns know nothing about each other. Prejudices, intolerance, and misjudgments have grown through the years. You realize that the situation is not only bad, but stupid. Where would you begin to clear it up? You know there is only one answer, no matter what you might call it. Publicity, propaganda, or what you will. You know the only solution is education. You know that education is the best way to fight ignorance, superstition, and prejudice. Throughout the world, that is what UNESCO, the Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, is doing. It is an agency of the United Nations, which is man's best hope for world education, peace, and justice.
The banjo you hear is that of Peter Seeger, with a wonderful cast of people, including Bill McAdoo and others, will be at Carnegie Hall in a benefit for the Highlander Folk School. Let's hear Pete leading the Weavers in Around the World from his Carnegie Hall album.
Well, over in Europe, they might not call it a hoedown, but it would still have the rhythm, be a polka, mudsonica, something like that. Be a big circle dance called a hora. This is it. Atalino, 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 Atalino. Maharashtra Vikram Saranu, Maharashtra Vikram Saranu, Avalan Mokatsanu, Avalan Mokatsanu, Avalan Mokatsanu. Coming back across the ocean, down in the West Indies, a little song called Hey La 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 La. Hey La 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 La. Hey La 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 La. Hey La 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 La.
Married man will keep your secret.
Hey La 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 La.
Single boy will talk about you.
Hey La 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 La. 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 Well, I got a gal about half grown. Hey La 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 La. She jumps on a man like a dog on a bone. Hey la 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 la, 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 hey la 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 la.
Alas, my love, you do me wrong.
Hey la 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 la,
to treat me so discourteously.
Hey la 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 la, 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 hey la 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 la. Sing the song in every land, dance together hand in hand. Hey la 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 la, 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 hey la 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 la. From the Carnegie Hall album, Peter Seeger leading the Weavers in Around the World. And Peter Seeger will be leading a whole group of people, including Memphis Slim and Willie Dixon, at Carnegie Hall. Really ought to sing a
party song for all these wonderful things that are happening here in America and in New York City especially in the next few weeks. So I'm going to choose one that's been sung for many, many years, where originally it was a plantation song. It's called Raise a Ruckus Tonight. And the chorus, for those of you who wish to participate in this particular melody, is... Come along, everybody, come along, while the moon is shining bright. Get on board, little children, get on board. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Now my old missus promised me, when she died they'd set me free. This is gone long years ago. Still I'm working on the same old road. Get along, little children, come along, while the moon is shining bright. Get on board, everybody, get on board. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. All them pretty gals are cooking. I never seen them so good looking. All them potatoes in the oven. I wish to the dickens I had all of them. Come along, everybody, come along, while the moon is shining bright. Oh, get on board, little children, get on board. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Among the ruckuses which are going to be raised, the Limelighters will be singing at Hunter College. We've chosen to take a special number from their very new album, Tonight in Person, which is on RCA Victor. And we'll hear the Limelighters as they tell you why people come to programs and why they're there. The song actually will be, this is a warning, there's a meeting here tonight.
Some come to dance, some come to play, some merely come to pass time away. Some come to laugh, their voices do ring, but as for me, I come for to sing. 'Cause there's a meeting here tonight, there's a meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face, there's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face. There's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight. Great God, I'm glad you came along. Hope all the brothers and the sisters here will help me sing this song. There's a meeting here tonight. I hear it. There's a meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face. There's a meeting here tonight. There's a grin on every upturned face and a smile in every eye. Brothers and sisters, let me hear you shout, let me hear your joyful cry. There's a meeting here tonight, there's a meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face, there's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight, there's a meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face, there's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight, there's a meeting here tonight. I know you by your friendly face, there's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight, great God, there's a meeting here tonight, great God, I know you by your friendly face. There's a meeting here tonight.
Recorded at the Ash Grove in Hollywood, California, their album Tonight in Person. Those are the Limelighters singing There's a Meeting Here Tonight. And there certainly are plenty of meetings going on, including their own at Hunter College at 8:30. Well, I'll be back with more stories and songs in just a moment. But first,
if you've ever lived on a farm, you know the importance of weather. And you know the importance of accurate weather predictions. Also, you know that continued study is necessary because our knowledge of weather is far from sufficient. Now, suppose you're a farmer and your radio set has gone out, but you do have a shortwave set. What would you do? Naturally, you would continually contact other hams, particularly to the north and west of you, to learn what weather they're having. And if a storm is brewing, you would try to chart it by contacting more shortwave operators. In this way, you would be relying on others, if they be friends or not, for information concerning weather that could affect you. And it would be at this point that you would realize the value of a network of weather stations surrounding the world. That is what the World Meteorological Organization is doing. It is an agency of the United Nations, which is man's best hope for world cooperation, peace, and justice.
Carolyn Hester, a young lady born in Waco, Texas herself, tells you why not to go out with the Texas boys.
Louisiana gals, come and listen to my noise. Don't you go marry those Texan boys. If you do, your fortune will be cornbread, turnip beans, warmed over tea. Cornbread, turnip beans, warmed over tea. When he comes home, first thing you hear, Mommy, your daddy has killed a deer. But next thing he says when he sits down, Madam, the cornbread's too dang brown. Madam, the cornbread's too dang brown. When he goes to preaching, let me tell you what he wears. An old leather coat, all thick and bare, an old straw hat more prim than crown, a pair of dirty socks he's worn the winter round, a pair of dirty socks he's worn the winter round. You'll live in a hut with a huge log wall, and it ain't got no windows at all, a clapboard roof and a puncheon floor, and it's the same old Texas ore, and it's the same old Texas ore. Now brandy's brandy anyway you mix it, and a Texan is a Texan anyway you fix him. When other good folks has gone to bed, the devil is working in a Texan's head, the devil is working in a Texan's head. And oh, how I love those little Texian boys.
Now, isn't that just like a woman after explaining just why she can't, well, that they're so bad and everything, she says, how I love them. Well, that's cause, by the way, she's from Waco, Texas. I call it Waco, Texas, but that was mostly editorializing. Carolyn Hester, who will be at Gertie's Folk City as of Tuesday night. Now, the New Lost City Ramblers are a fine group of young men. They're composed of Tom Paley, a mathematics teacher, and there's Mike Seeger, engineering man and electronics fella and communications engineer. And then there's John Cohn, a photographer. And the three together have spent their time reviving and recapturing the spirit of old-timey music. Now, you fellas sing these old songs in a way as if they belong to you, and yet they're not part of the atmosphere in which you were brought up. So let me just ask, say, Mike Seeger. Mike, where do you collect your songs?
Well, we get them off of old commercial records mostly that were made by the record companies who went into the mountains with their portable equipment early, about 1925.
Small companies.
Well, no, the large companies, Columbia, Victor, OK. OK was the first one to go in. And we also get some of them off of the Library of Congress field recordings that were made under Roosevelt's administration. We get none of our songs that I can remember out of books, as most folk performers do. And I think this is one of the biggest differences, because we try to retain the traditional sound instead of trying to mix it too much with people with city experience.
Now, a lot of the songs that were current in those days are the songs that have become today, 20 years later, folk music. And it's another interesting problem to find songs that are current today, which we think in another 20 years may be folk music.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you have any difficulty changing your vocal patterns, actually, and your accents to match the sounds, and does it bother you when you do that?
It is a little bit of a problem. I think that's the kind of problem a city performer runs into. Is he going to, copy and kind of slavishly imitate accent and inflection and everything, or is he going to just sing it without any attempt to emulate the singing style or just vocal mannerism of the people he's learned it from?
We have to be careful not to put it on too much, actually.
That's it. You have to try and strike some sort of a medium where you're getting some of the general character of the sound and intonation, and yet not putting it on to the point where it is put on rather than
we're accepting musical. A tradition that isn't our own immediate tradition, and yet by doing this, at least for myself, I found that there's more of a tradition, that the idea that there is a tradition somewhere, because what we have right now today in the city is pretty cockeyed.
Well, let's hear how successful the New Lost City Ramblers have, as we hear from their Depression album, All I Got's Gone. The New Lost City Ramblers, and All My Money's Done Gone, boys.
What can you do with half a penny? Nothing? Don't you believe it. Because for half a penny a year, you, as an American taxpayer, have been helping to maintain 3 vital international organizations. The International Civil Aviation Organization, which establishes safety measures and flying procedures throughout the world. The International Telecommunications Union, which promotes the efficient operation of the world's radio, telephone, and telegraph services. And the Universal Postal Union, which assures the efficiency of mail delivery between all countries. All 3 of these organizations are part of the United Nations. You are a part of them, and it costs you only half a penny a year.
Florindo Almeida is one of the finest guitarists, Spanish guitarists of our time. And Sally Terry sings along with the guitar so that they seem almost wedded. On their Capitol record, they also include Martin Ruderman, the flautist. I'll play for you right now. They're singing and playing of Boy Bumba, which is by Valdemar Enrique. It's actually of Afro-Brazilian origin, and it really means My Good Ox. It's the closing number of a folk celebration called Rezados, the Kings, which depicts the pilgrimage of the 3 Magi to Bethlehem. The dance song is also found, by the way, on the island of Cuba. It's usually danced in a circle. So here is Boy Bumba, sung for you by Florindo Almeida and Sally Terry. That is sung by Sally Terry, played by Almeida.
Sabe que esse dia é hoje, ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje, ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje, ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje. O céu forrado de veludo submarinho, meio verde vacarinho, onde foi a dançar? Ele pediu para depois me torrir, que eu santinho de história, pode me se lembrar. E vem de longe que o surdo do bomba sambando, noite inteira engrulado batucando. E vem de longe que o surdo do bomba sambando, noite inteira engrulado batucando. Bumba me pai do campo, bumba me boy bumba. Bumba meu pai no campo, bumba meu boi bumba, bumba meu boi bumba, bumba meu boi bumba. Ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje, ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje, ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje, ele não sabe que esse dia é hoje. Estrela d'amore do sujo vem surgindo, a cor do pensando vendo, por o meu calor cantar. Na minha aurora, essa senta da fogueira, cai na boda da inteira, paga muito para o ar. E vem de longe que o surdo do bomba sambando, noite inteira engrulado batucando. E vem de longe que o surdo do bomba sambando, noite inteira engrulado batucando. Bumba meu pai no campo, bumba meu boi bumba, bumba meu pai no campo, bumba meu boi bumba, bumba meu boi bumba, bumba meu boi bumba.
Sally Terry singing, Lorindo Almeida playing, and Martin Ruderman on the flute, and Boy Boomba. You know, appearing all around New York are folk singers and other occupations. Ed McCurdy does commercials. Robin Roberts can be seen on television plays. Burl Ives is in the motion pictures. Millard Lampell wrote the play The Wall, which is on Broadway. And Billy Fair is to be seen in the first big scene in Molly Brown, accompanying Tammy Grimes in Belly Up to the Bar. Well, rather than play Belly Up to the Bar, which is not exactly a folk song, we'll play Billy Fair singing the song he learned from Frank Warner, who learned it from Yankee John Galusha, the Dying British Sergeant, which was supposed to have been written by a British redcoat during the American Revolution.
Come all you good people, where'er you be, who walk by the land or sail by the sea, come listen to the words of a dying man. I think you will remember them. It was on December the 18th day, our ship set sail for America. Our drums and trumpets loud did sound, and then for Boston we were bound. And when to Boston we did come, we thought by the aid of our British guns we could make those Yankees own our king, and daily tribute to him bring. They said it was a garden place, and that our armies could with ease tear down their walls, lay waste their lands, in spite of all their boasted band. We found a garden place indeed, but in it grew many a bitter weed, which soon destroyed our highest hopes and sorely wound the British troops.
Billy Fair singing for you part of the long ballad of the Dying British Sergeant. Probably an American propaganda piece, but possibly a song of the British troops who came to stop the American Revolution. And he, of course, is in Molly Brown. Well, we have one more group that we're going to hear from. Before we do, there's something interesting about the song that they're going to sing. Tommy Clancy, who's going to open Tuesday at the Blue Angel with the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Makem, sings a song called The Moonshiner, an Irish song. Well, it sounds to me like two American songs. One of them is called The Moonshiner, and the words are the same. Well, you know this one, I think. I've been a moonshiner for 17 long years. I spent all my money on whiskey and beers. I'll go to some holler, I'll make you a still, I'll still you a gallon for a $2 bill. And the other song, as the melody that was used for the Moonshiner, is called Hard, Hard Times. If you listen a while, I'll sing you a song about modern times, and it won't be too long. How everybody is striving to buy and cheating each other, and no one knows why. Well, it's hard, hard times. From father to mother, from sister to brother, from cousin to uncle, they're cheating each other. The way that the cheating is going on here, if a fellow acts honest, they think that he's queer. It's hard, hard times. Why, there isn't a body who hasn't some plan for making his way over some honest man.
With thievery going from evil to worse, the honest ones better start cheating back first, for it's hard, hard times. It's hard, hard times.
Now you've heard the melody of Hard Times. You heard the words to the Moonshiner. And listen to how skillfully Tom Clancy and the whole Irish Republic have blended these together to make an Irish Moonshiner song. Tuesday night, they'll all be at the Blue Angel, the Clancy Boys and Tommy Macon. But right now, just enjoy the song.
I've been a moonshiner for many a year. I've spent all me money on whiskey and beer. I'll go to some hollow and I set up me still, and I'll make you a gallon for a 10-shilling bill. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I live till I die. I'll go to some hollow in this country, 10 gallons of wash I can go on a spree. No women to follow, the world is all mine, and I love none so well as I love the moonshine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, and I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I live till I die. Oh, moonshine, dear moonshine, oh, how I love thee. You kill me, old father, but are you try me? Oh, bless all moonshiners and bless all moonshine. Oh, it breath smells as sweet as the dew on the vine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, and I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I live till I die.
Tom Clancy and the Moonshiner Song with the rest of the boys and Tommy Macon. And here's Harry Belafonte to sing for you an old world song in America, Cucurucu Paloma.
Dicen que por las noches Tomás se la iba en poro llorar. Dicen que no comía, Tomás se la iba en poro tomar. Juran que el mismo cielo se estremecía al oír su llanto. Cómo sufría por ella, que está en su muerte la fue llamando. Ay, 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 cantaba. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 cantaba. ¡Qué pasión mortal! E una paloma triste, hoy de mañana le va a cantar a la casita sola con sus puertitas de par en par. Juran que esa paloma no es otra cosa más que su alma. Que todavía la espero a que regrese la desdichada. Cucurucucú, paloma.
That was Harry Belafonte. I'm sure you recognized him singing Cucurucu Paloma, which was very popular because of Harry Belafonte singing. But as we point out, many of these songs are popular not because of the singer, but because of the material themselves, or itself. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our get-together here as we talked and sang about folk music. Thank you for being with us. I'm Oscar Brand, and I'll be back again next week at the same time with more of the stories and songs from the world of folk music. See you then.
The Oscar Brand Show has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.